Point Park golf and assistant basketball coach Gabe Pavone. Gabe, welcome to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Well, it's actually been, this is your first time since Rockathon, which was a tremendous occasion, and a quick plug, Rockathon is next week, so be there or be square. But we'll start with the women's golf team. I remember reading on your Facebook feed before the season that you were really proud of this girls group, and that you're expecting big things, expect big things from this group, and they really did deliver. What was it like to coach these girls?
It's really been a joy. Our first 2 years, we kind of struggled a little bit, and I mean these girls work hard. They're dedicated, and they're doing what I want them to do. They're winning, and we're competitive. We're not going to win many tournaments this year, but we're going to be right there in the top 2, top 3. But by next year, we're going to be one of the top teams at the school, I think.
Is it hard for both teams to find consistency, being that you only play, once a week?
Well, I mean, we practice 5 days a week, so I mean, they're out there. I mean, we're out there every morning at the crack of dawn. I mean, they're playing. I mean, that's the biggest thing about golf is finding consistency, and some of the guys struggle. Some of the guys are, they take it on a little bit better. But I mean, it's golf. I mean, one day you can be playing the best round of your life, and the next day you could want to give the game up. But that's what makes it fun. It makes it challenging.
The big name that you consistently have heard for Point Park at the top of the leaderboard, Carolyn Collins. Can you describe the work that she has done this year? I mean, again, as I said, she's been, top of the Point Park leaderboard. It seems tournament in and tournament out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I expected from her when she came in. She knew. I told her, you're going to be one of my top players, and she accepted the challenge. That's what she wanted. She's very competitive for a girl, which I like. And she comes from a golfing family. Her dad's been a teaching golf pro for 30-plus years. So coaching her is really easy. I mean, she's been taught from a very young age on what to do, so it's just tweaking it here and there. But no, I'm very proud of Caroline. All my girls, really.
Other than Caroline, have there been any standouts on either teams that you've noticed, either coming in, surprise the team, or just continue with their careers here, really standing out this season?
Well, from the women's side, Lauren Martez from Youngstown, Ursuline, she won our last Grove City tournament. I knew she'd always be in the top, 10, top 15, but to see her win it, I was very proud of her. On the men's side, he's actually hurt right now, but Colin Holmes from Avon Lake, he was finally starting to feel at ease out there, put 2 really good rounds together when we won the Mount Union tournament. But he's hurt his wrist, so he's been sidelined for the last 2.5 weeks. But he's been a very pleasant surprise.
On the men's side, it's seemingly last year he kind of had a couple teammates that got in the way in terms of him winning. But Austin Elder really has. You've seen couple wins from him. You even saw the team itself win a tournament. How exciting is that? Both to see Elder's play continuing to improve, as well as the team even winning that one event this season.
Well, as far as Austin, I mean, he was the king of coming in second place last year. I think he had 4 or 5. He's always been right there, and I always tell him, you have to fail before you succeed sometimes. And I mean, he's learned from every one of those tournaments where he's just missed. And he came in this year, won the first one, and then he won our third one. I always told him, though, it was just a matter of time. I mean, he's got a good work ethic. His game is very consistent. He just had to keep plugging away, and I mean, it paid off for him.
The team has one last. Well, both teams have one last meeting this weekend for the fall schedule. It's against California University. Is there anything that you're going to be looking for specifically during those games?
Well, I mean, they got to go out there and score. That's the good thing about coaching golf. I mean, you're kind of just there to, be there for a mental support. Golf is an individual sport. You got to go out there and do it. You have no one else to rely on. But I just want to see consistency. Our last 2 tournaments, we haven't scored like we probably should be, and being our last tournament, I just want to see guys go out there and score like they're supposed to. Some of our scores the last 2 tournaments, guys have shot really high, and I really want to see them go low, and I think they will. They usually respond.
You have a common saying that you hear a lot in golf is drive for show and putt for dough. I'm sure you're familiar with that one. How important has putting been for both teams this season?
Well, you make your putts, you're usually right there and with a chance to win it. Some of these courses we play, the greens are like putting on your kitchen tile. I mean, they're that fast. They're hard to read, and if that's the problem, if you don't have confidence on a green, you could 2-3 putt, 4 putt very easily. But no, when we make our putts, when we don't 3 putt, we're usually right there, right around the leaderboard. But that's, again, it's consistency. It varies. Some days guys are putting great, some days they're not. But I mean, we work on it, and but when we are putting good, we definitely have a chance to win most tournaments.
For these teams, what kind of course do they prefer to play on? Would it be one of those where the ball's rolling a little faster, or not?
Yeah, no, my girls, they like short courses and they like them dry, because we played a couple courses that were really long and it was soaked. So wherever the ball hits is where it stops. And some of my girls, they don't hit the ball that far when there's no roll. But if they can have a little bit of roll, it makes it more enjoyable. But some of these courses are very long, and when they're wet, I mean, you go from having an iron in to maybe hitting a 3-wood in. And it can take away from the fun of the game a little bit. But I mean, that's part of fall and spring weather. I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Some days it'll be 75 and sunny, some days it'll be 50, rainy and cold. We adapt, but they definitely would like short and dry courses.
So far, what has been your proudest moment as the golf coach this season?
Well, my girls winning our last tournament. That really, I mean, literally, we came in last in every tournament we've ever been in for the last 2 years. And then actually go out there and win one. That made me feel really good. And Austin winning his first and second tournament. He came in, when I got the job, he came in probably a month and a half after. So he's pretty much been here as long as I have. And to see all his hard work pay off, and then also to see the guys come back and win that Mount Union tournament. They really responded well the last day, and it was a good feeling all around.
This is a little more personal kind of a question, but what's it like coaching two, completely different sports? You're the head golf coach for both the men's and women's, but you're also the assistant basketball coach. How do you handle coaching two sports that are really completely different from each other?
I don't sleep much. No, kids are kids. Anywhere from 18 to 24, I mean, they're all pretty much the same. I mean, the biggest difference is they come from maybe different backgrounds. But all in all, they're all into the same things, video games, girls, just hanging out. But, I mean, I don't yell in golf. I mean, basketball, I'll have to raise my voice. I mean, it's more of a yelling position in coaching. But as far as golf, it's just teaching, explaining, things of that nature. But I mean, it's good. I mean, it can be night and day, and then it can also be the same.
Still talking golf, but a little different. Going to the professional golf ranks really quickly. I'm asking this because I think that you might know the best. We've heard from him. We haven't really heard from Tiger Woods. I mean, we all remember 2008, that U.S. Open at Torrey Pines when he won it on one leg. I mean, what do you think is exactly wrong with Tiger, and do you think he'll be able to fix it?
I really do. Tiger has a work ethic unlike many others. Just his overall ball striking and just putting confidence, all of that, it's there. You don't lose that. He just has to find it again. And he's gone through a lot. And he's changed his swing. He's changed his caddy. All those things, I think, were bad for him. But, he's in the transitional stage of his life. And he's eventually going to get through it, or he's not. I mean, I really hope he does, because he's the best golfer out there. But, I mean, he's gone through a lot. I mean, he really has. And the people in his life have changed. And that takes time to get used to. But I really think he'll be back. I hope he is. He's fun to watch.
Well, as I mentioned before, the fall schedule wraps up this weekend against California University. Do you have any, I don't know if it's come out yet, the schedule for later in the season. How is that, do you know about that yet, or how it might kind of look?
It's not official yet. We're going to take a spring trip during spring break down to Myrtle Beach, Barefoot Resort. We're going to have some local tournaments, and then we're going to travel a little bit. But I mean, it's all pretty much going to be either local, or we'll take some trips. But it'll all pretty much be the same as last year. We may add a few in here and there, but we'll see. We're being the only NAIA school around. Sometimes these teams, it's hard for us to get in because it'll be Division II, Division I, or Division III, and sometimes we get invited, sometimes we don't. So we just play it by ear. If a tournament comes up 2 days before and we can get in it, we're going to get in it. So we like to play things by ear.
For those of you listening, you are listening to A to Z Sports, and you are listening to golf coach and assistant basketball coach Gabe Boubon, and we will get you out on this one. The men's basketball season, a very short time away. I mean, just looking at from a schedule perspective, from a player's perspective, you've lost Jimmy Sherwood, you've lost Chris Dowds, the two most prolific scorers last year. You do have bigger guys, Devon Alexander, and you also have Dante Anglin coming up. What are you expecting from the team this year? I mean, again, you probably aren't going to have the prolific scorer that's going to be the double-double machine that Dowds is, but what are you expecting from the team with the recruits and those two players I mentioned earlier that are going to have to come in and fill those holes?
Well, I mean, it's going to be up and down. There's a lot of learning to go on. T.J. Hetherington is back and really healthy. He's got that speed back that he had his first year. He lost a lot of weight, got into shape. So we're looking forward to that. I mean, we're a little small, but the style we play, I mean, if we're making shots, we're always going to be tough to beat. But then again, when we're missing shots, we're also going to be easy to beat sometimes. It's just, that's our style. And when you're not that tall, I mean, you got to be able to rebound. But I mean, we'll be very competitive. We're working on a big guy this coming semester coming up, a big 6'8" kid from England. We're just waiting on his paperwork. So if we can get him, well, everything's in place. It's just getting him over here now. So he'll help out. But Devon and Dante, they're seniors. They need to really step up, show some leadership. All of our guys, as long as they work hard every day and just go out there and give effort, I mean, we'll be in a lot of games.
All right, that was head golf coach and assistant basketball coach, men's basketball coach Gabe Boubon. Gabe, we thank you so much. Again, you're welcome anytime to check back in and discuss the basketball season. We are again overdue for break, a recurring theme anymore. It seems on A to Z Sports. We've had two great guests on, and now we're going to, when we come back, well, we'll have the news, and we'll also kind of start the show, which kind of seems weird, but we're running a little bit differently today. But come back and listen to us on the other side here in the Voice of Point Park, 670 AM WPPJ Radio.